NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part.
Oh, a kicker, that's when you know that a kicker is struggling.
Well, you also know
when your right tackle is happy with you.
that he's not very big either.
Look at the first quarter stats, and you can see that Dallas won everything in the first quarter. Rushing yards, passing yards, total yards, first down, no turnovers. Look at the time of possession. So then we go to the second quarter, and now it's a totally different game. Now Green Bay starts to win that. They get the pass yards, they get the total yards. They start to get some first downs, 5-2. They both have a turnover apiece, and the time of possession that goes in Green Bay's favor. So it was kind of the Dallas won the first quarter and then got that field goal at the end of the second quarter. Green Bay won the second quarter, but the big thing is they only got 3 points out of it.
And so that results in a 10-3 Cowboy lead. Jeff Ogden back deep. Jason Tucker is going to field it way deep in the end zone. Jason Garrett had to replace, of course, Troy Aikman, and he's done well.
We know they had a game plan for him, and you can just see that that they've done things like the shorter passes, the rollouts. When he throws deep, it's that short drop and throwing deep. So they have a plan for him. And in that first half, for a backup quarterback who hasn't played a lot, Jason Garrett executed it very well.
Looks like that plan fits him pretty well.
And one of the big things there is you see that he's thrown 8 passes over 15 yards. I think that's big because that will keep that defense loose.
Robert Chancey gets the carry, the big tailback, 252 pounds.
It's interesting that the Packers are doing a lot today. They're taking Tyrone Williams, their corner, and playing him as a safety, and taking Darren Sharper, their safety, and playing him as a corner.
And blitzing him a lot.
And then blitzing both he and Leroy Butler a lot.
Sharper over his side.
He's right over here playing a corner position.
And off again to Chancey. Chancey bangs his way outside the 35 for a Cowboy first down.
Now you get a big guy like Chancey that weighs over 250 pounds. You get him rumbling and rolling. I mean, he's going to hit this hole right here. And if there's no one in his way, he is going to be tough to take down when those defensive backs get to him.
And that's a different fullback on that last play, too. That's Ryan Newfield. Newfeld, I should say.
They just activated him.
Yeah. Now it's Chris Warren. And Thomas is the fullback. Warren. He just sort of lopes in there, and it looks like nothing's happening, and all of a sudden it is.
And well, there's big old Gilbert Brown. I think he ran right into big old Gilbert Brown. You see, Gilbert starts like that. He just kind of collapsed that thing and grabbed a leg.
Larry Allen's limping, and I don't believe I've ever seen that before. Larry Allen limping.
It was interesting. The Dallas Cowboys played the Minnesota Vikings last Monday night, and Foch Fazio said that he thinks that Larry Allen may be the best football player in the whole league. I mean, quarterback, backs, everyone. And you see what happens right there. It's Gilbert Brown. You see Gilbert Brown, he went in there to tackle Chris Warren. He just whipped right around, and he got the back of Larry Allen's legs.
That's a big whip. That's right.
Well, there's a lot behind that whip.
Maslinski has taken his place, Larry Allen's place, and now.
I mean, if you'd have to say who's playing the best football on this Dallas Cowboy team, it's that guy right there, number 73.
And is he ever strong?
And and not only is he strong in the weight room, but he's strong in a football game. I mean, he just does it on every play. Never takes a play off. As a hard worker. And you talk about Troy Aikman being out, Emmitt Smith being out now, Michael Irvin being out, Moose Johnston being out for the season. This is a tough one when Larry Allen goes off the field.
Linsky has taken his place. Here's Jason Garrett throwing outside, caught by Ismail. Let's send you down to the sideline now and DJ Johnson.
Chan Gailey said in the first half that his defense played excellent. He thinks his offense, on the other hand, only executed sporadically. Simple solution for the second half, get the ball into end zone. Now, Ray Rhodes, on the other hand, he thinks his team needs to take more shots towards the end zone. He says the deep balls that they did throw in the first half were almost completed, and they did execute that well. He says in the second half they will take more deep shots. They'll hopefully get in the end zone. If not, they'll hope for a pass interference. So that's the plan for the second half. Back to you, Pat.
All right, DJ. Garrett hitting the floor on a rollout.
Well, that's the thing that Jason Garrett does so well. You know, we talked about him, you know, being able to come back and then go to the outside. And watch him here. He just fakes, bootlegs out here, and then he has his tight end right there.
First and 10, Green Bay at the Green Bay 47-yard line. Here's Chris Warren again, and Warren flashes into the secondary, picks up about 8. Warren looks like he might have got a little bit of
well, you know,
or something.
A guy like Chris Warren, he hasn't played a lot.
Hadn't been hit a lot.
And you get a guy who comes in and plays 10 or 12 plays a game, and then he has to play every play. That's a total different story.
Looks like it might be his left shoulder. It's stinging a bit. Anyway, Chancey's in.
Every time you carry the ball, go in there like that, you're going to get stinging a bit.
Chancey gets the first down. Down to the Green Bay 35 and across it.
The way the league is this year, the way the league is all the time, you always have to be on the lookout for players, you know. And I think any time you can find a guy like a Chancey, maybe he doesn't play much, and then you lose a Moose Johnston right here, who's your fullback, and then you lose an Emmitt Smith, and then you know Chris Warren plays, and now you need a Robert Chancey to do some running. So I'd like to always have Troy Aikman out there.
First and 10. Jason Garrett to Chancey, and he is a load.
I'll tell you, when he gets going downhill, he really does. This is a Dallas offense missing their leaders. They're talking about Troy Aikman is out with a concussion, at least another week, maybe 2 weeks. Michael Irvin may never play again. Darrell Johnston is out, and these are the guys that are taking their place today. Garrett, Mills, Chris Warren for Emmitt Smith, Robert Thomas for Moose Johnston.
Second down and 2. Thomas in front of Chancey, and here's Chancey. Bang. Ooh. Sharper felt that little jolt, didn't he?
Chancey picked out one. He picked out Sharper. He was going straight. He went through that hole, and then he saw number 42, Sharper, and he just turns and goes right at him. Watch him as he hits this thing. He gets a good lead block, and he cuts back. Now right there, he sees him, and he just puts his shoulder down, and he says, there's one. I'm not going to get by him, so I'm going to do the next thing. I'm just going to run right over him. See what they do is they collapsed that whole side, and then Chancey got through there and said, where's Sharper?
Warren is back now. And he gets the carry. Lost the ball, and Green Bay has it. Tyrone Williams comes out of the pack with the ball for Green Bay.
You know, we're talking about Chris Warren and the hits and thing and not being used to it. That's also the second time that he's fumbled today. You see again in there, it's just being in traffic, and at some point you have to get both hands over the ball. He was trying to use that left hand to slap away a hand, and in doing so, he got the ball knocked out of his hand.
Been thinking about a ski trip?
Okay, kids, run and get it!
Call Southwest. We've got low fares to over 22 exciting ski resorts.
Come on, Dad.
ski free next season. Use your Visa card to purchase travel on Southwest Airlines and you'll be automatically registered to win free ski vacations for you and a companion, including $5,000 of Visa traveler's checks to be used toward lift tickets. Get the details online at www.southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
In 5 days,
he's the best we have.
The wait is over. The world is yours.
James Bond is here.
On November 19th. The World Is Not Enough, rated PG-13. Starts Friday.
One of the world's best skiers against Goodyear's ultimate winter tire, the Ultra Grip Ice Radial. Made with IceLock and innovative silica compound, you get improved traction on snow and ice. Goodyear Ultra Grip Ice Radials.
When it comes to traditional luxury, it's anything but more of the same. Introducing the all-new 2000 Bonneville. When supercharged, it's one of the world's most powerful.
Sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl.
You need a new saddle for your bus?
Yeah, it's a lost art.
Yeah.
Saddle making. I need it for my cows. I bought 2 cows in Chicago. They had that Cows on Parade.
Yeah.
They had the auction. I bought 2 of them. So
well, cows don't need saddles.
Yeah. I got one carousel cow that does.
Favre is down. Greg Ellis and Chad Henning.
Yeah, one thing we talk about what Brett Favre has to do, but he's just not getting a lot of help out there. You know, Antonio Freeman, who is one of the top receivers in football, hasn't caught a pass yet today. And part of it, he just hasn't been open.
Nope.
And the other part of it is this line isn't doing a great job of protecting Brett Favre. I mean, whether he stays inside or goes outside, he has really taken a lot of whacks.
Pass deflected. Intended for his tight end, incomplete.
So someone said that he was trying to force the ball too much to Antonio Freeman. And today it seems like he's forcing it to Tyrone Davis.
Yep.
I think if Antonio Freeman is really one of the top receivers in football and one of the top paid, I think I was going to force something. I'd try and force it to him who could make a play.
Problem is he hasn't been making that many plays.
Number 52, 10 yards. Repeat, second down.
Frank Winters called for holding.
Because to be honest, I haven't seen that many plays today where Antonio Freeman has been open. In fact, as I said, he hasn't caught a pass today. And in fact, they've only thrown 1 towards him. And I think that could have been the first play of the game.
Levens goes in motion. Favre back to throw it. Scrambling and looking for somebody. Gets it to Henderson. And Henderson is taken down at about the 24.
By Dexter Coakley, which was a heck of a move by Dexter Coakley. He was the only guy out there. I mean, you know, and that's the type of thing that if he doesn't make the play, just watch Dexter Coakley. He's going to be right here. There's 3 blockers out there. He has to get by those blockers and then make that tackle. You see what Deion Sanders did on that play? Watch him here. He lines up there, lets his receiver go, and then he's coming on the blitz.
He's running better there.
There was a screen pass to his side.
3-man rush. Favre up into the pocket, pulls it down. And he's going to slide and come up well short of the first down, and they'll have to punt.
And at some point you can just see the frustration, and part of the frustration is caused by this Cowboy defense. You see Brett Favre under pressure. They sacked once, hurried 10 times, knocked down 5 times. And then the other thing is his receivers really haven't been open either.
You got to have somewhere to throw it.
And you can just look at his face there and tell that he's starting to get frustrated, that this game isn't fun like it was at one time.
Jason Tucker makes a fair catch at about the 31, where the Cowboys will take over. They lead the Green Bay Packers 10-3.
Tonight at 9/8 Central on Fox.
Dallas 10, Green Bay 3. Pat Summerall, John Madden at Texas Stadium. Here's where Larry Allen got hurt when Gilbert Brown rolled up on him. There is a player right there.
And they were taking him in there to check his right knee.
Chansey straight ahead, not much. Ball came out, but the whistle had already blown.
I think if Chansey gets it going, he's going to get through there, and if there's not a hole there, he's just going to run into a line. Look at the total yards by quarters. Again, Dallas winning the first quarter, Green Bay winning the second quarter, then Dallas coming back again and winning the third quarter. Dallas, of course, won really the end of the second quarter too with that field goal by Richie Cunningham. There's a warrior.
Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith, he sure is. He's the real deal.
2nd and 8, 9. Pass caught by Mills, and that's a catch. Garrett laid it outside perfectly.
I'll tell you, he can do that. Jason Garrett is amazing the way he can just drop that ball in there. Watch Ernie Mills come here and watch Jason Garrett. The ball just drops right over his shoulder, right into his hand. That's a perfect pass. Watch him, good pass protection. He's looking all the way. He sees him and he just drops that ball in there perfectly.
30-yard gain. Not much way you can defend against that.
Looks like he's worked with Ernie Mills.
Yeah.
And he's done some good timing things with both Ernie Mills and Eric Bjornsson. He's right down here now.
Garrett dropped. Rocket Ismail. Touchdown. He got in. He got down, got up, and got in. From Garrett.
It all started with Jason Garrett's great throw to Ernie Mills. Then he comes back and gets the ball to Rocket Ismail, who's a playmaker. And you get the ball in playmakers' hands like this, they can go down. He wasn't touched when he was down, so he can get up and run it. And then, of course, he gets up and runs it all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. Now, if he were touched when he was down, it would have been down there, but he wasn't touched.
No argument from the Packers. As Cunningham will try the extra point with Bjornsson holding. And the extra point is good, and the Cowboys lead it 17-3. Delighted Jason Garrett, and the man who scored the touchdown, Rocket Ismail.
And he knows that's the deal. You get the hands and the balls of playmakers, or the ball in the hands of playmakers, and they make plays for you. And talking to Troy Aikman before the game, and I said, how's Jason going to do? And he said, if he gets the ball to Rocket, he'll do well.
He just did some of that. Dolan kicks it off in the direction of Mitchell. And Mitchell is hit just outside the 20 and take it down there. Neufeld. Jason Garrett had a good day.
Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By Propecia, talk to your doctor today. By Sprint PCS, experience the clear alternative to cellular. And by the all-new 2000 Pontiac Bonneville, luxury with attitude.
Mrs. Jason Garrett, Brill, his wife. You think she's not relaxed?
No, she's not relaxed. She had a smile there and 2 thumbs up, but she's nervous as heck, and she won't be relaxed until this game's over. I'll guarantee you that.
Jason said she didn't give me any advice about where to throw it or who to throw it to.
Well, that was yesterday morning. I mean, he could have gotten some advice since then, but Jason Garrett is a football player. I mean, he comes from a football family. His dad was a coach. His dad's a scout for the Cowboys. His brothers played in college and pro, and there's one brother in coaching in the pros. And
his dad coached me. Here's Dorsey Levens. Right now for an update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Pat, Arizona's Michael Pittman has scored on a 58-yard touchdown run to make it 23-7 Arizona. But on the next play from scrimmage, Gus Farad finds Jermaine Crowell, who beats Aeneas Williams. The flag was pass interference on the defense. 77 yards to pay dirt. Two-point conversion failed. It's 23-13 Arizona. Back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
Who would have thought that one, huh? That Arizona would be beating Detroit?
Who would have thought? George Teague. He's in obvious pain.
They don't know me.
Team 3 lead Green Bay.
Yeah, watch what happens to George Teague there as he hits with his left shoulder. His left arm just went numb, and that is a stinger with a capital S.
Here's Favre back to throw it and throws it.
Yep, same old thing, drop balls.
That was to Bradford. Should have been caught.
You know, they still haven't completed a pass to Antonio Freeman.
That's unbelievable.
And they still haven't converted a third down, the Green Bay Packers. So that's the thing. I mean, they don't have the offense. They don't have the consistency. They don't. And to me, they don't look like they have a lot of urgency about it. I'm sure they have to care. I don't want to say they don't care, but I don't feel a sense of urgency in this Green Bay Packer team.
Bar drop. Bradford makes the catch at midfield.
He seems to be staying with Bradford. It seems like to me that Tyrone Davis and Corey Bradford has kind of become his go-to guys. One thing about Brett Favre, I mean, when a guy drops one, it doesn't bother him. I mean, inside it has to eat him up, but he'll come right back, just like he did with Corey Bradford. He'll come right back and go to him again.
Favre drops, steps up and fires, and incomplete.
I still don't know what they're doing with Antonio Freeman. I'm not sure. You know, I mean, sometimes it looks like he's just running patterns to, have guys come underneath, like he's just, running through and trying to get guys off so they can hit other things. But you would think that they would have some stuff for Antonio Freeman, and if they do, he ought to get open, and Brett Favre ought to throw it to him.
Well, he said
right here.
Freeman, when we were talking yesterday, he said sometimes they double me and sometimes they don't. But that's the price of being successful in the past. That's Freeman.
Yeah, that's the one. They finally said, well, let's start. Someone said, let's get the ball to Antonio Freeman and get him in the game, because a lot of these receivers, I mean, there's only 3 minutes left in the third quarter when he catches his first pass. And I remember guys like, Sterling Sharp was that way. Jerry Rice was that way. A lot of great receivers. You had to get them into the game. Get them that first ball early to keep them going.
On third down, Levens maintained his balance long enough to get the first down.
I'll tell you who made a good block on that one was Ross Verba. Anytime that you get a corner like that, the tackle on that side has to make a good block. Now watch the block that Verba right there gets, and that's how they get that soft corner. You see him right there. They get a double team. He and the tight end really picked off two guys. And Deion Sanders comes up, and not one of the strengths of Deion Sanders.
George Teague is back into the Dallas secondary, and Favre drops and has time this time. Drops it out to Levens. Dorsey Levens crosses the 30. And he got smacked pretty good by Darren Woodson.
And Darren Woodson is one of the top smackers in football. He was a linebacker in college, and Darren Woodson is a guy, if you need a defensive back, he can play it like a defensive back, or if you need him up there, he can play like a linebacker.
Or if you need somebody to run down under punch and kickoff,
he does that. I mean, he's a real football player and a tough guy. I mean, Darren Woodson, when he comes, he brings the wood.
And here come the Packers. Bradford was open. Favre got the ball to him. The blitz. Favre saw it coming.
It's one thing, Brett Favre has always been great against the blitz because he can get rid of one. He's strong and big, and he can get rid of the ball quickly. And he looks like you just kind of get the feeling he's kind of getting into this game now. And I think part of it was a couple of completions, and maybe part of it is getting Antonio Freeman in the game. And I think you just have to, keep working that. Dorsey Levens is also running a little harder now.
Henderson is deep. Favre called timeout. He was down to 2 seconds. He knew he couldn't get it underway, so he called time.
You wonder if he got that play in time. I mean, that's the thing. If you don't get it in time, then you have to do this.
Tonight it's Hank Hill's $1 million throw against Dandy Don Meredith, followed by all new episodes of The Simpsons and Futurama. Then it's the shocking conclusion to the X-Files season premiere. All new Fox Sunday starts with King of the Hill, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central tonight. Dandy Don Meredith. Dandy was still throwing.
Yeah, throwing. And I saw a thing where he said you got to throw it and run it. And the only thing he didn't mention is kick it. But old Dandy Don, he could throw it.
Tough guy he was. Ring of Honor across the way.
He was always a lot of fun, too.
Yep, he really was. 1st and 10, Green Bay.
This is the 10th play on this drive.
Favre gets it to his tight end who makes the catch, and maybe he should have dropped it. Darren Hambrick broke things up.
Yeah, they were trying to trick play, which is a screen. They bring the tight end over and then try and screen to him, and Hambrick again read that and got all the way through. Here he is. You see, he starts there, and then they just hold him, and then they try and get the screen there to Tyrone Davis, but Hambrick was right there.
Yeah.
He didn't have a chance. That thing was sniffed out and snuffed out and stopped before it ever got started.
Leon Lett.
Let's watch him on this play.
Favre looking and throwing. Bradford is the intended receiver. 12 seconds left in the third quarter.
Yeah, I watched Leon Lett, and as we talked about, he was suspended for 8 games for substance abuse, and this is his first game back. And just watching him practice and stuff, he's lost about 15 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks more like a basketball player. He's tall and thin. A lot of guys, when they don't play, they gain weight. They come back and they have to lose weight. Leon Lett looks like he has to gain weight.
Well, he's been playing basketball.
This is a big third down play here. Here comes the blitz.
Favre gets it. Throws incomplete. Intended for Freeman. Broken up. Deion Sanders was nearby.
Amazing, Deion Sanders. I mean, I thought that he couldn't play in this game. Here he is. He's playing off. He gets to jump in there, and Antonio Freeman, and just gets that right hand in there and knocks it out of there. I mean,
just at the right time.
This guy's amazing. I mean, I had said earlier, there's no way he can run. There's no way he should be playing. He has a pulled hamstring, a pulled groin, and Antonio Freeman can't beat him on that play.
Kick is blocked from 44 yards away. Picked up by Hambrick.
Ryan Longwell is going to have to explain that one. Remember, last week against the Bears, he had one block. He said it wasn't too low. Ray Rhodes said it was.
And that's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Cowboys 17, the Packers 3. Fox NFL Sunday from Texas Stadium will continue after a word from your local Fox station.